Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Folks, Indiana Fever fans out there, and a lot of people have an interest in this story because it revolves around, of course, Caitlin Clark, who is probably the most talked about athlete in the world right at this moment. It is official, as you can see here. Christie Sides has been fired. I've been asking for this basically since the season started, where she did her nonsense about the point 0.5 seconds to make a decision, and can't do what she did in college and needs to shoot the long two, and constantly throwing her players under the bus, and on and on and on. Most of the story. But here it has finally happened right now. Christie Sides is no longer the head coach of the Indiana Fever. They announced today, Sunday, if you're watching this today, I'm recording it, that they are moving on. They let us out a statement, and of course, we all know what these statements are. They're empty, but it's nice of them to put it out there. We are incredibly thankful to Coach Sides for embracing the challenge of leading us through an integral transition period over the last 2 seasons, while also positioning us well for future growth. President of Basketball Operations Kelly Krauskopf said, and by the way, that is brand new President of Basketball Operations Kelly Krauskopf. They also have a new GM, as we know, Andy Cox. And I said when Amber Cox, sorry about that. I said when they were hired that it's very unusual for a team who makes major changes in the front office like that, especially the GM position, and then they keep the head coach. That rarely happens. Indiana went on to say, while decisions like these are never easy, it is also imperative that we remain bold and assertive in the pursuit of our goals, which includes maximizing our talent and bringing another WNBA championship back to Indiana. Coach Sides was an incredible representative of the Fever and our community, and we wish her nothing but success in the future. I don't know. I know they didn't mean this like that. Okay, I don't think someone like Kelly's going to come in and be petty, but I have to tell you that when I read immediately, which includes maximizing our talent, for me, for me, just personally, that seemed like throwing some shade at Christie Sides, that she was not the one. It was clear during the season she was not the one that was going to maximize the talent of Caitlin Clark and do so in a way that maximized the other players' talent around her. Instead, she seemed to hold the team back from being what they could be. I think we saw enough in spurts and moments that we were all like, wow, this team with the right coach, taking off the emergency brake, folks, taking the foot off the clutch, getting out of first gear, not swimming in quicksand, then this team could be something special. And I don't know if they'll fire up the offense that much. And I know it's a lot to ask in a 40 or what will be a 44 game season, because you just need a few bad games in the 70s. So I won't say they're going to average 100 points a season. I'll say they could, and I believe with the right coach, this could be a team that can score 100 points quite often. Maybe not average 100, but score 100 quite often. It's going to be a phenomenal offense with the right coach. And if they just up their team defense just a little bit, the offense is going to be that much better, because yes, it is true that you create offense. You create easy offense with really good defense. When you pressure defensively and you force bad shots and you rebound and you get that ball out in transition and you create turnovers and steals, especially where the ball stays live, you create easy transition buckets. And when you have someone like Caitlin Clark and you have players who know, like Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull, that are going to get out on the break, and Temi Fagbenley, if she's back, going to get out on the break, you are going to get easy buckets time and time again. Now, as it says here, the Fever telegraphed their ouster by weighing up a potential replacement before she was actually out the door. And look, go ahead and put it in the comments that you think this is normal. It's not normal. It is not normal. Teams don't do this. They don't go shopping around for a replacement and secure a replacement before they let their coach go. I've never heard this before until we got to the Christie Sides saga with the Indiana Fever, where, oh, well, yeah, that's what they need to do. No, it isn't. This is poor and unprofessional. And I'm sure they didn't expect it to get out that they were looking at Stephanie White, but that is the risk that you run. And so that I will say that is the black mark here, the black eye here for the Indiana Fever. And I know a lot of people are okay with it, and that's cool if you're okay with it, but it's not normal and it's not right to do something like that. So is it going to be Stephanie White? Who knows? Maybe they're that close of a deal to her. Maybe they're working things out with the Connecticut Sun because that is where Stephanie White is still under contract. And so they will have to buy out her contract. So maybe they're working out the details of what it's going to take. The Connecticut Sun will want probably money from the Indiana Fever to let Stephanie White out of the remainder of her contract. What that's going to entail, how that's going to look, I don't know. If it gets too difficult, the Fever might look elsewhere. As I talked about in another video, Stephanie White obviously has a long history with the Fever. Now, here it says she played for 4 seasons. I thought she played for 5 and then was an assistant coach for, I think, 4 seasons and then the head coach for 2, including leading them to the 2015 WNBA Finals. Connecticut Sun were awesome with her the past 2 seasons, 55 and 25. That being said, what some people look at is, well, okay, but the Connecticut Sun didn't go anywhere in the playoffs. I get it. The Fever went all the way to the finals with her, so I don't know. I do think she will be a coach that will want to maximize Caitlin Clark's talents. How that looks, I don't know. Can she do that? I don't know, because that's obviously not the style we saw from her with the Connecticut Sun. But there are different coaches. There are coaches who say, I've got a great system and I want to plug the right type of players into it to run my system. And you have other coaches who say, hey, I can do this or I can do that. And it's going to depend on the type of talent I have and what they are good at. Now, like Jess here says, shout out, I've seen Jess out there a lot on Fever stuff. My only criticism of letting Christie go is that allowing people to know you are pursuing Stephanie White before you make things official with her is clown behavior. 100% agree. You do not keep a head coach employed when you are looking already at replacing that coach. You let the coach go, and then you go after the coaches that you're interested in. You go through your interviews and do everything you need to do in terms of your due diligence. And then you hire the person that you think is best for the job. And this is crazy, man. I mean, it is crazy how bad the Fever have been for so long. 7 years outside the playoffs, single-digit win totals, 5 of those 7 years. And boom, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark. Now things are moving in a good direction. 20 wins. What was the last 3 years? 8, 13, 20? 8, 13, 20 playoffs. So we will see what happens. We have the Golden State expansion draft coming out. So we're going to have the Fever. Who are they going to protect? They can only protect 6 players. Who is that going to be? I told you my 6. And look, what I was saying then is these are the 6 players I think they should protect in terms of what things are like right now with a new coach coming in. And look, one of the things, I don't know in terms of injury, like, do they want to protect someone like Dantas, who maybe won't be around as long, or, maybe Fag Bentley's not coming back. I don't know. I was just looking at it in a vacuum of here's the roster. These are the 6 I would say I don't want to let go, but things may change. I mean, I would love to see Saxton and Berger on this team next year with another coach actually get a chance to get off the bench and show what they could do. That would be absolutely fantastic. I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised. And I'm not saying they're going to be superstars, or especially not right away, but I think Grace Berger will be a very, very good backup point guard where Caitlin Clark can play 2, 3, 4 minutes fewer than she's been playing. get a little more rest, which I think will be good for her going into the later part of the season. Because, yeah, okay, she doesn't have college going right into the season, but there's also no month break with her not being on the Olympic team either. So we'll see how that goes, but I would love to see Grace Berger get a chance. So we will see what happens next. I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to get this out quickly, give you my thoughts on this. We'll see if it's going to be Stephanie White. Like I said, based on the rumors and the timing that we heard them, it sounds to me like they may be close with Stephanie White and they just have some issues to work out in terms of her contract with the Connecticut Sun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you want it to be Stephanie White now that Christie Sides is gone and they've made the decision? Would you like to see the Fever look around? Are there other names that have come up that you think are viable options? And when I say that, I don't mean the wishes that we all have, right? And you've heard my two best, Cheryl Miller and Larry Bird. I don't think Cheryl Miller or Larry Bird is are at all interested, but I would love to see either one of them take the reins of the Indiana Fever for the 2025 season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So thanks so much for checking out this video. Please like and subscribe. It really does help out a lot, and I will talk to you later.